And now I wanted to say we moved to another topic, but basically we're staying within the same, because we're going to talk about chargers and future trends of charging with Miroslav Kuzhelka from ABB. I think Miroslav was already ready, so if you're there and if you're ready, please come to the stage. Let me just remind you that we still have the Slido there. Some of you has already used that, so you can pose the questions, and I will ask them after all the presentations. So Miroslav, are we there? Are we ready for a presentation?
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm fully ready. I hope that I will be succeed to present from my notebook. So, ladies and gentlemen, I will tell you not all about charger and future trends today, otherwise we will spend here 2 days. But definitely I will give you some short overview where we are now and where we are going. The global target is to achieve a zero emission mobility, that's clear, but not clear how fast and by when. This is definitely country-wise. It depends on country. Different situation in Germany, different situation in France, different situation in Czech Republic. I will come to this. But first, who will talk to you today, and can we trust our statement, our vision, what we will share with you today? I hope so, because ABB is a global leader in e-mobility since 2010. So we are on the market more or less 11 years. And ABB vision is the e-mobility will grow on fast public charging infrastructure. The next is the very important, this ABB company strategy. Development, production, service, operation, that's all we will want to keep in our house. This is very good message for our customer. You can see the roadmap. 2010, we built and sold first 50 kilowatt DC charger, and people ask why? Why so big, so expensive equipment on the street? Do we need it? Is it very important? By doing this in this way, and we said, therefore, because the difference between AC charging and DC charging is the charging time. Nobody will buy the car to spend 8 hours on the site. Time is money and time is life. So if you will offer suitable charging time, people will go and hunt for electric vehicles. Otherwise, it doesn't make a sense. And you can see the roadmap again. I will mention 2016, we started with the charging of e-buses, and 2018, we started with the charging first e-trucks. 2020, we came on the market with this AC charging. It should be a little bit funny, but it isn't. I will tell you later why. ABB DC fast charge installation. As I said, we are 11 years on the market. We have installation in 85 countries, more than 85 countries, and the installation base is currently more than 20,000 DC charger worldwide. Of course, we have some partnership. The most visible partnership is Formula E. I am telling to my customer, you will buy the technology which passed hard Formula racing competition. You know, from the history, every high-tech technology came from military or competition racing, and that's why we are doing this. ABB is also a global R&D partner for automotive. This is the most important partnership. It's not marketing, but this is really partnership, because the car makers, which are doing the business, they are leaders of the business. They know that they will sell their cars only in case on the street will be the equipment which will be able to charge the car in as fast as possible. Because as I said, when you will change or swap the cars from combustion engine to electric vehicles, if you have a similar, let's say, charging time, and you have the same range of the car, so the autonomy range in kilometers. This is the key for the e-mobility for the future. to be very close to combustion car condition. So now something about the charger future trends. As I said in the beginning, everybody was loving that ABB is going and pushing this DC technology, which is expensive, heavy, and very, let's say, complex technology. You can see 2010, first EV on the market was rely on 3.6 kilowatt onboard charger. And everybody was telling, okay, we are supplying EVs with very small onboard charger and it will be sufficient and everybody likes it, everybody buy it. And we said, we are not sure because nobody will wait 8 hours for charging. And you can see the development. The automotive sector completely moved from AC charging from 3 kilowatts up to 150 or 300 kilowatt charging on DC platform now. So this is clear answer that we was right with our vision. This is similar slide. You can see that 10 years ago was EV range 140 kilometers, average charging on the road 50 kilowatt. Now after 10 years, we have more than 400 kilometers EV range and something between 150 and 350 kilowatt charging power. This is the global data. So as I said, in some countries you have still 50 or 150, and in some countries you have already 350 kilowatt charging power. And charging power is related to the charging time. The target is to decrease the charging time as much as possible. So ABB is offering the complete portfolio for EVs. So from the small AC simply chargers 3 kilowatt up to really heavy vehicles charging, which are e-buses and e-trucks, and the charging power for these vehicles is about 600 kilowatt now, and maybe there will be even more in the future. As I said, the global target is clear, but the reality is country by country. You can see the playing cards for which is valid for each country, and some cards are global. We can basically change it from Czech Republic, and some cards are local. What is very important is the local power grid readiness. It means, do we have strong power grid to keep e-mobility in Czech Republic? I would say yes. I will come to this later. And the next very important arguments or the card is the state subsidies. If you can take money from the state or from some authority to buy the EV or to buy infrastructure. So as I said, this is country by country, and let's see what is the situation in Czech Republic and which kind of priorities will generate this, let's say, semaphore for Czech Republic. So as I said, charging times is related to the technology, EV range, also to the technology in terms of EVs. We cannot change it, but we have, as I said, very good grid. We have fast-growing, let's say, fast-growing charging network coverage, not sufficient, but fast-growing. We have subsidies for charging infrastructure. The operators can get money from the state. EV market price, yeah, this is globally bad. Yeah, this is still expensive, the EVs. But we have state subsidies for commercial fleets. Unfortunately, we don't have subsidies for private passenger car yet. And of course, very important is population mental approach to this green environment, how we will behave and how we want to behave in the future. So what will generate the traffic lights for Czech Republic? The candidate number one of e-mobility is public transport within the cities. So it means electric buses. I see it as a most growing e-mobility segment in Czech Republic. Maybe colleagues from Volvo and Škoda will will tell more about it, so I will not spend so much time on this. But definitely you can see the arguments why in Czech Republic this kind of e-mobility will be fast growing and very, very perspective. We already see a lot of tenders within the Czech Republic, where is a big demand of transportation company to get this high and green technology in their fleets. Number two, commercial fleets in the cities. This is a little bit similar to electric buses, but there is the situation for e-buses. Why they are number one is it's public service paid from state, and which is not the case for all fleets like taxis, delivery services, city taxi, couriers. They unfortunately need to go for fully commercial business model, and there is a lot of question mark, but I believe that supporting state subsidies, they will find the right business model, how to be successful on the market. Next is number three. This is private passenger car sector. As you remember, the playing cards, this is depending how people want to behave, how much money they want to invest in the car, and how much the state will offer to people to share the cost with them. This is still open. I think it's on good track, but I see the private passenger car sector really as a number three, and I think it's good, and I will explain why. Because we have, for Czech Republic, we have indeed very good scenario reflecting current distribution network. Because number one and number two, which means the electric buses and commercial fleets from the state or from the city, you have somehow under control. So you can define how many fleets, taxis, how many fleets, buses, etc. will be available within the city or within the state. Don't affect the grid simply, but you cannot manage this within scenario 3, which is private sector. You cannot tell you will buy Miroslav, you will buy the EV, and Jaroslav, you will not buy EV. Of course, you have no influence on this. And can you imagine if everybody will buy now EV? It will goes to blackout regarding the grid. Of course, as I said, the grid in Czech Republic is, from our perspective, quite strong. Definitely, this grid can keep wave 1 for e-mobility Czech Republic, but in the future, it's good candidate to be improved and upgrade. But this kind of upgrade you will not do overnight. You will need, I don't know, 10, maybe 20 years to upgrade completely the network to be fully ready for 100% electromobility within the cities or within the capitals and state. So if you want to see more about ABB infrastructure and ABB solution, please click on this link when you will download my presentation, and you will see more information in a nice video, and I think it will be very helpful for you to see it. So this is end of my presentation. I will thank you for your time, and if you have any question, I hope I am ready to answer this.
Thank you very much for your presentation, and we have at least one question from the audience. Like, I really like it as a Formula One guy. Like, what knowledge can we basically take from e-Formula to, let's say, daily EV life? What technologies maybe we can use, or are there any which are already used, transferred from this sport segment to daily EV life?
Basically, we are using the same technology for this Formula competition, like for normal people in a civil life, simply. So we will develop the technology. We will prove it on this really hard racing and hard condition environment, and then we are sure that we have excellent equipment, and we will put it on the market. So if you will buy ABB, you will buy the best on the market, simply.
Yeah. Perfect. That's great news, actually. You've mentioned the traffic light here in Czech Republic, and you've talked about the public charging infrastructure, that it is sufficient right now, and I guess it's right. At least at big cities, it's much easier to find some public charging station than a few years ago. But is it gonna last? Like, isn't it sufficient just for the, let's say, current amount of EVs here in Czech Republic? Is it? Are there any space left to grow? Like when the number of EVs here in Czech Republic is going to grow, and hopefully it will. Like, will the infrastructure, let's say, keep the pace?
Yes, I understand the question. The answer is not so simple like the question, but for this moment, we have good coverage for the public charging places or this stuff. Definitely, it's growing. It's not easy to plan and build sophisticated public infrastructure. This is very similar to planning of mobile networks. You need simply build a reasonable coverage to allow people to charge or get a phone. This is very similar. And it will take a lot of money, and it will take a lot of time. Just for information, to get permission within the Prague for a charging site, it can take 2 years. So somebody complains that utility companies like ČEZ, PRE, and E.ON are slow. It's not true. They are very fast. But they have to follow some rules, some state rules, and they cannot build the charger, just buy the charger and build it everywhere. So you have to plan it. You have to plan it with reasonable outlook, because what you are planning now, you will use it 10 years ago in reality. So you have to plan it very carefully. It will cost a lot of money. For utility companies and also for the European Union, for the state, and you need to go for very good prepared project. Otherwise, it will go to the hell simply. Yeah, so it's not easy, but I am sure that with the scenario I showed already, which is electric buses fleet, commercial fleets, and number 3, passenger cars, we have good infrastructure. And we will have even better infrastructure in the future. And the good message is that the Czech state and the European Union is ready to open the pocket and put the money on the table. This is very important.
Okay, thank you very much. You've got again to the public transport, and that's a great cue for our next guest. So Miroslav, thank you very much for your insight.
You're welcome. Thank you very much to all.